spot. We are having a look at the NECA Toys Terminator 2 Judgment Day NES figure. Like the other NES figures that we had a look at, or video game inspired characters, the Terminator 2 figure does come packaged inside a kind of retro Nintendo box. Even right down to the bottom where it says official NECA seal of approval is a nice little nod to the old Nintendo cartridges that had the official Nintendo seal of quality. It does have a warning: choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years of age. It's recommended for ages 17 and up. I do quite love these packagings, or these boxes that these figures do come in, how they give this wear effect around the outer perimeter of the box. On the side there as well, kind of give you that. It looks old, which is furthest from the truth. This is a new released figure. And then on the back, Terminator 2 Judgment Day action figure. No fate but what you make with NECA. You are a T-800 Terminator. It's a T-1000. You carry a lever-action Winchester. It's invincible. You stand nearly 7 inches tall. It's made of liquid metal. And you notice how they even put 7 inches tall, again referencing the figure itself. You have over 25 points of articulation. It's the ultimate weapon of destruction. Fight the future, save the past, capture your own T-800 action figure, and become the Harley-riding, grenade-firing Terminator of today. Right down below, you are the T-800, protect John Connor, rescue Sarah Connor, and destroy Skynet defenses in the future. And then finally, just before we open up the package, well, we're going to open up the package itself with the interior of a screenshot from the Terminator 2 video game. It says Cyberdyne Systems Terminator Series 800 Model 101. All systems online. And then on the side, you've got your figure Interchangeable Head, as well as his Winchester. To check out more from the folks over at NECA Toys, head over to www.necaonline.com. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the Terminator 2 Judgment Day NES T-800. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. In hand, the NES T-800 looks pretty impressive, I have to admit. It is utilizing the brand new, more posable Ultimate T-800, so you're going to have a lot more posability in the legs, you know, the knee bends, rotation in the legs, thigh, I should say, and more importantly, the ball joint legs. So that is a plus. Not to mention, of course, you're getting a brand new paint deco, one depicted from how he appears in the old NES game Terminator 2. It's jarring, yes, but no more jarring than the other video game released figures that NECA has produced. Kind of in its own market. I don't know if every collector out there would necessarily pick up figures like this, but certainly old school collectors and those who played the original game probably would jump right on the opportunity to own a video game appearance of the T-800. Let's get a better look at his face. We'll bring the camera in just a little bit. The majority of the figure is basically just painted black. And then, like other video game treatments, they put little accents. Usually it's more like the equivalent of cell shading that they put on like the clothing, for example. So areas on the black pants, for example, they've got darker gray, light gray, which also carries over to the jacket as well. Sometimes it gives the indication of light. A lot of times it's just the way that the game, developers designed the characters in the game so that they would just stand out, sometimes versus black backdrops. Probably the most glaring noticed difference between this and the regular T-800 released from NECA is the very bright, it's almost the color of a Dorito, a very bright orange face here on Arnie. The face is it's a little bit of flesh color, but not much. The rest of the face, however, is this dark, dark sunburn orange. Carries over also just a little bit into this hair, a little bit of areas of white as well to break that up. The idea, though, is really that, like, the character may be only a side profile or partial three-quarter turn character in the game, So really that's what you're getting in the video game figure releases as well. That's why a lot of the white is on the one side and not as much on the other. It looks good really from the side. It looks a little strange from the front, but again, that's kind of what they're gearing the figure line to. He has some of the same sort of coloring also into his hands, which match that of his face. He's sporting his sunglasses. They are not removable. They are sculpted into his face there. It does actually look like the glasses should come off, but no, they are sculpted in there. He comes with a couple of other accessories, one of which being an interchangeable head, if perhaps this isn't to your liking. He comes with an unglassed and then severely damaged, side damaged alternate head. To accomplish this, we're just going to pop the head off very easily and replace it with the battle damaged head. And get that into place. I really like this face. Although, to be fair, I really like this face as well, but I like how this one, especially because it's got those very singular colors. There's not a lot of shading. It's very stark gray, that stark orange. It really stands out quite nicely. And of course, because he's got no glasses, normally where his eye would be, it's basically just darkened in black. And then he's got the one singular red eye from where the side of his endoskeleton is now sticking out, protruding from the exposed wound that he's suffered. Ideally, I really don't, to be honest, I don't really know which head I would almost prefer. This one really, this one gets my interest, although I do like the fallback go-to of the default unscarred head with the glasses. By the way, the other accessory that he also comes with is his Winchester. It's the same Winchester shotgun that we've seen with the other T-800 release, although it's just now colored the same way as his jacket in the darker gray and the light gray. Go ahead and we can get that into his hand. Just pry the fingers ever so slightly. There we go. And we can just get the gun into his hand, making sure, of course, his thumb, get those thumbs out of the way there, making sure, of course, his thumb is out of the way. A little easier to do, not in front of camera, mind you. There we go. Probably just have the arm arched, or the elbow bent. There we go. Ah, that's a good look. That's probably how I'll have them displayed. The jacket is rubbery. I mean, presumably you could remove it, but as we always discussed here on this channel before, you remove a jacket like this, the sleeves are really still based on the jacket, so it wouldn't really make much sense to remove it, and it would involve popping the arms off. In the way of the T-800's posability, as mentioned, this is taken from the Ultimate Terminator mold. So essentially, you're getting all the primary articulation that would have appeared in the very original T-800 release, but then you got also the posability of the legs from the Ultimate release of him. So his head is on a ball joint, and it's actually ball jointed from the base of the neck rather than the head itself. So not only the neck, but as well as the head is basically all one piece. Shoulders hinge out, forward and back. They rotate all the way around. He has a bend in the elbow, which also allows that forearm to rotate. He has a rotation and hinge in the hand. A rotation in the waist. And as we had already discussed, a really well-received ball joint leg. Full range of motion there. A mid-cut thigh. Hinge in the knee, which is very stiff, which also rotates the lower leg. And finally, you've got a ball joint, which allows the foot not only to pivot up and down, but also rotate back and forth. A little bit of a pivot left and right as well. We certainly have not, this isn't the only release of a video game Terminator. We also got the RoboCop vs. Terminator releases as well. But I like this guy. Yes, he's a very stark orange. He's very popping when you have him on the screen. But you know what? He fits very well in with the other NES or video game releases that NECA has continued to churn out. I quite like this guy. I think he turned out very well. He's jarring, yes, to have such orange in the head, but all things considered, a really good figure and an outstanding job by NECA. Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Terminator 2 Judgment Day NES figure release from the folks over at NECA. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.